We've all heard the term. This is not a one-man show. No leadership role in Rotary is set up to be up to one person. But I can promise you that growing our Rotary membership, creating a culture of growth, if we are to be successful, cannot be just one person. So building your team, if you are a district membership chair, is extremely important. It is the first step to success. And I would say to those of us, because I'm going to actually be chairing the membership committee in my own district this year, that sharing these same ideas that I will share with you today with your membership chairs across your district will also be beneficial to them. So how do we go about building this team? Normally, if we had a lot of time, I would say to you, please write down 4 things that you want to achieve this year, because a team can't help you if you don't know where you're going. So we don't have time for you to think through 4 things. So I'm going to ask you, just so you'll have your thinking cap on, chat up one thing that you know you want to achieve this year related to membership in your district. It could be related to satellite clubs. It could be related to Rotaract clubs. It could be how do you want to rescue small clubs? But it must be intentional. You will hear that word. You heard it from Patrick. You heard it from Terry. We must achieve our goals by being intentional. We know our expectations and creating a balance between what you want to achieve and the ability to execute. Don't be so far out of the realm of possibility that your team is discouraged, but set the expectations and let your team members know those specific goals and what you expect of each of them. Don't recruit them by saying, oh, you won't have to do too much. Instead, you want to arm them with exactly what your expectations are. And if you're smart, you will do that in writing. Share examples of success with them. We've just heard some successes that Terry shared with us. So how do we share those successes with the folks on your team? And talk to them about how to, if needed. Making sure that you're matching your team members with their skill set so that you can ensure that they will be successful. Don't choose someone just because you like them. In Rotary, it's very obvious that we have people that we love to work with and we love to associate with, but don't choose them just because of that. Choose a person that you think best fits the work that you need to have done. You want someone who will take ownership of the goal or goals you are giving them. Remember, you are the leader. Whatever the outcome is a reflection of your leadership. Thomas Edison said, vision without execution is a hallucination. We don't want to all feel like we've set a vision but we haven't executed. So how do we execute? You have your expectations, and now recruiting the best people. Who fits? Think carefully about why you choose those leaders and how will you go about recruiting them. Now for me, when I want to recruit someone or get them to do something for me, I generally take them to lunch. Don't I, Frank Cox? Yes, that's how we usually go about getting people into the roles we want them to play. And I know right now that's not impossible. I mean, that is impossible. We can't take people to lunch. But the best thing right now is to talk to them personally on the phone. Tell them you want them to take seriously what you're asking them to do. As I said earlier, know exactly what you want from them. And it's best that you actually put that in writing. Assure them that you will provide resources that they need to do the job. And that is why Patrick and Terry and I and the other Rotary Coordinator Associates are here. We are here to help you know what those resources are and how to find them. Now, having a team training is great, and especially if we can have it in person. But this year, it may have to be done by Zoom. They need to hear your vision and be able to communicate back and forth with your expectations. And Zoom is a great way for that to happen. Going over the how to use the tools and resources, not just saying, here's a list of things, but helping them understand what those resources are that are available to them. Don't take for granted that they understand. Help them in understanding how to use those resources. And then I would say to you, delegate. Now, at times, I'm a control freak, and I'm well aware that other people know that too. But when you feel good about the people you've chosen, you train them appropriately, and you've given them the right tools, then let them go and expect that they will help you bring your vision to fruition. In advance to July 1, make sure that you have a communication plan and an accountability plan in place, that you know these things in advance so that you can share with them how you will communicate. That involves knowing what your mode of communication is with each of the people on your team, knowing how often you will communicate, and knowing whether you will be communicating with them as a group or individually. Why is that important? Because sometime during the year, if you're not happy with their performance, you have to make some really important decisions. Will you just let it go? Will you try to do their job for them? Or will you relieve them of their responsibility and find someone else? Know this ahead of time. Have that plan in place. And then when you are communicating with them, think about this. Will your communication be positive? I always feel like it's easier to give someone a treat than beat them over the head. So you have to decide ahead of time, what will your communication be, positive or negative? Will you remind them of their goals? And then, will this be communicated to them quarterly, mid-year? And also think about the end of the year, rewards and awards, knowing that you've put thought into this ahead of time. For Stephen Covey says, start with the end in mind. That means that you know right now, as you are planning your year, that you need to be thinking about the plan for your end of the year celebration. Because I don't know about you, but I want to end my year in a district that says we have grown our membership and we have begun that steady culture of growth that Terry talked about. I'll just share with you, last year as district governor, my cart story. I set a goal. It was very ambitious. I started with the end in mind, and the end in mind was that the club in my district, that president was going to get to cut all of my hair off at the district conference if we met our goal. I knew each step of the way, what I wanted to share with each club and how to involve the Rotarians in helping to reach that goal. Yes, start with the end in mind. I'm going to show you this great book, and I know, don't think I'm silly. Yes, this is a Dr. Seuss book. And if you look at the very end of the book, the last page, he says, your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. The mountain of growing our membership is waiting for you. As district governors and district membership chairs, we can make this happen if we stay focused and intentional. Thank you for listening today. And I'm happy to share my notes with you if you'd like. Patrick can help make those, get that out for you.